Hello, everybody. This is Victor here from Trend Following Trading for Beginners, and here's my weekly update on my sample trading portfolio coming up next. Hello, guys. Welcome back. Another week gone by. Another rather exciting week. The way I see it is not much of a movement on the market, though, but there's few things worth mentioning. Overall, I think the biggest things that happened this week is two things really is the gold price as well as the Tesla. And also, of course, political wise, I mean, for me being Hong Kong Asian, settling in UK, I'm also very much liking to engage in finding out more what the U.S. doing with China and the shutdown of the Houston consulate, given something to do out to shut down and goes, and then apparently there were photos or pictures of the Chinese workers in the Houston consulate burning things in the background. But I think that's just normal as far as I'm concerned. I don't know why people in America making big news out of it. I mean, just to think of it, if Americans have to move out of their own, consulate or whatever the buildings and in another country, and they're given 2 days, 3 days move out, do you think they can obviously take their things away? And also, also given the fact that, some people may say they can just use a shredder. But Americans tried that, and what happened when they moved out of Iran a long time, so after 20 years ago or something, the Iranian was able to look at the shred paper and putting things together and find out, what the American been trying to plot against the Iranian regime back then. The American learned that experience, and so is our other countries as well. So it's no news. For the Chinese burning the document. I think like 2018 when the American telling the Russians to get out from their embassies or something, their Russians they burned their stuff too. So I don't know why such a big hoo-ha talking about it. But whatever happened on Wednesday, then I think it was Friday or Saturday, the tick for that coming back from China, and one of the U.S. consulates get closed. So this is just whatever is happening between U.S. and China, just very much politics, and the market basically react to it, a bit uncertain about the instability between the two countries. But ever since Donald Trump has been up in the become a president of the United States, the U.S. has been firing guns to all its neighbors and friends or foes alike, and of course you have the deals in was it November, wasn't it, or January this year, with the deal between U.S. and China. But as far as I'm concerned, I think I've mentioned it previously in my podcast, there's nothing much in there, especially the get out clause with the coronavirus. Both sides can get out of it. So this, I think. Donald Trump actually said a few days ago or last week or something, it's not not thinking China will uphold the deal. I mean, I think put it the other way around. I don't think U.S. can put up the deal with so many things that has been going on around the world, especially America with the coronavirus, in China too, and around the world. You think that the U.S. have enough produce to actually sell whatever product it is to sell to China. And China probably will just continue to buy more agricultural product, given they recently, I think last month or so, all of this month as well, with the flood problem. Now you got the pig swine or African brain, whatever it is, pig disease in there. They're more than welcome to, more than really want to buy it from America for agricultural product, but not the other stuff, obviously. But for buying more stuff from China to from US, for China to buy that, it's not much of an ask basically. But coronavirus soured the relationship a lot more, and it's quite it's quite breathtaking as well. I can see for the last 6 months when people are saying it, all sort of conspiracy theory and tit for tat information coming out, and U.S. keep on pointing finger at China. But you got to think of the world keep on saying, led by U.S. saying China didn't share enough information quickly enough. But one thing though, I mean, is U.S. government really that dumb? They're facing a communist country, which with history of lying, history of not sharing information in a timely manner, history of covering things up. America just say what? Oh, China should come up with the information earlier. Shouldn't you turn the things on its head and say, shouldn't U.S. be more aware of it, and then say the Chinese might be covering things up like before, like SARS back in 2003 and other times as well, and get themselves ready and for the pandemic. Then the other thing is they didn't do much with it. I mean, the Western world didn't do anything much until the coronavirus sort of detected Italy and mass opening in Europe, and then American, so as UK start to say something and start to do something, and expose how badly the Western world is to prepare to face a pandemic. Let alone all this. Not shutting down this border quickly enough, kind of thing, and following what Chinese does or what the Asian does. They keep on saying, the West keep on saying China is bad, on the pandemic side. UK say that, Australians say that. I think Canadian is the one that's keeping mouth shut. Even Germany is a bit rumbling, and France definitely say something too. But overall, I would say this: yes, China may be at fault, but as much as fault is so is the West. And also say that they're not even ready. They haven't stockpiled the clothing and stuff for any pandemic. Let's say hypothetically, Middle East got hold of some virus, whatever it is, they created from another country and just spread it in America, spread it in Europe. What do? The European and so is American, I think, and especially UK too, probably much prepared for a dirty bomb kind of scenario or terrorist attack, but not really using some biological warfare. They probably more prepared of some biological bomb or something, anthrax or something, but not a biological virus, that kind of thing. And there's an enormous question of where that virus actually came from. I mean, U.S. actually came out and said, we did fund, a lot of virus research, whatever. And China is one of the places, Wuhan, the test lab days where the outbreak first started in China, is definitely one of them. It's been funded by America. I mean, Chinese being Chinese, they probably borrow some of those technology with agreement from the U.S. government as well. U.S. government actually say they actually did pay the money for China to do the research. I won't be surprised the actual virus itself is man-made, and the gene or something probably come from the West, maybe America as well. And then China basically they want that technology, they want to work on that virus things, and that here we go. But for America, keep on pointing finger to China. I mean, China can, yes, he's probably guilty for not sharing information, whatever, you don't like communists, whatever. But for the rest of the world, keep on just saying China is bad, China is bad. I think Chinese is basically having enough. And you've seen the last, I think most likely this year, is after signing the deal with US, it's a lot more vocal, a lot more pushback. Even the Chinese communist news outlet on YouTube is a lot more videos about the West, about in Hong Kong as well. They push back a lot, and the rest can do whatever they like. But China is just not going to be like old Russia or old USSR or old Japan. It's much more enormous piece of country. A lot more people there, and much stronger position than 200 years ago when China was if you watch Bruce Lee's films, sick man of Asia, it's not anymore. Okay, China is not sick, and it's not weak, and it's quite strong. Economically, it's number 2 in the world. Military might still probably quite far off America, but will really American try to go to war with 1.7 billion Chinese? Economically, it's a suicide. Actually, if you actually go and have a war over there, it's quite enormous, to transport all the military equipment and supply chains and stuff and food and stuff. Yeah, you got a lot of other stations around Southeast Asia. It's always been, American base, surrounding China more or less for that type of thing. But, both sides also have a nuclear bomb. If Chinese really get squeezed, you think China's just going to not sit down and let American just do whatever they like? I don't think so. But this tick for tat things really causes a lot of issues. And then in the background like this, gold now just gone up to more than, I think on Friday, gone above the 1920 or something. That's the last high. Basically was last high reached back in 2011, and I'm basically watching that. And I said before, gold this year make already 20 to 30% increase already. So this just continue, and it's quite eye opener. Try to see how it goes up. So now we have a new high. I think reached on Friday about just above 1930 or something, and then come back down again. But it's still sort of ended the week above 1900 for gold, and silver is catching up. I say last week or so, once it break the 20 marks, it will just go, and really did. It just gone up to like 22, 23 marks. I was expecting going to be up 25, but it's not as fast. But definitely we see a lot more movement, and my view is this is only the first taste, especially when the dust settle a bit more with the coronavirus, and American and the rest of the world probably push China on trade and the coronavirus and all sorts of things, try to gang up on China. China just going to have a tough time, and then this geopolitical problems is going to push the oil price up a bit. Just worry about war and stuff and things like that, and China's been using loads of oil as well, and it might push up the oil price, or partly of that, and also partly because U.S. dollars has been weakening for last week as well, and gone down to I think below 94 now, 94. Or the index or U.S. dollar index that causes help as well the U.S. dollar weakness, and help the gold price and silver price going up, and we just have to wait and see. This is to me anyway, it's a trend follow. It's a gift. This year. Sorry to say this, we might all facing coronavirus and some of us losing jobs, but it's not from the market point of view. It's a gift after gift. You have gold price initially because assassination of our Iranian general in Iraq by American, and then you have the coronavirus outbreak, and then the massive amount of money coming in from the Feds, and then pump the market back up again. And now gold basically going up because the U.S. dollar finally weakening, and then you've seen those kind of things happen. So for trend following anyway, this year there's just trend everywhere, just loads of things, and it's quite good. So the other thing is in here worth talking about is Wednesday, Tesla actually came out with the result. I don't know about you. As far as I'm concerned, yes, it's look great, but then why the price gone up? Shot up so much on Tesla, and it's just really, really scary. I mean, it's gone as high as like 1,800 or something, and came back down. It's quite worrying during this week anyway for Tesla price to move up. I mean, the earnings over there is like $2 per share or something. Let's even give it $3, and rate it like $3 over 1,800, the highest amount of the makes. It's like less than 0.1% per share in its making, its earning, and that is for for a company with enormous what you call projected price to go continue. It's just a lot of people hoping and thinking that it will just be another one that go to the moon, so to speak. But from as far as I'm concerned, I'm not sure how old you are, but if you have been around and you look at the dot-com bubble 2003, it reminds you of one share in particular, Amazon. I remember Amazon was like, selling everything. Before it's just doing both and start to reach out to selling other things. The earnings wasn't doing much. It's burning loads of money and try to get more people onto the sites and doing all sorts of things. And the price just continue. Amazon just up and up and up and up. And that is the era when the dot-com bubble was there. It was like everybody any company who has a .com at the back, with a web presence, and even not making much sales or making much money on the web, is in the share price in the public company just goes up the roof. And Amazon is one of those. Basically, it is really scary actually looking at Tesla. The reason why I included in my portfolio, or sample portfolio last 2 weeks or so, is because of this parabolic move up there. And this week to actually see the price gone to 1,800, with earnings of no more than $3 per share. I mean, that's like very, very extremely high expectation that the company is going to make loads of money. Yes. To me, Tesla have enormous value itself, but I think the market is overrating it. Yes, it is selling cars, electric cars, very nice, and self-driving as well. And that software, the AIs and stuff, you can use in a lot of other applications as well, and that's wonderful. But for the share to move up so high so much is scary to me. Also, I'm not sure if you follow any Asian news, but in China, I think for the past month or two, Tesla having now with this manufacturing base, one of the hub is in China, selling into China, and so it doesn't have to pay the enormous, tax on cars, import cars and stuff. And it's basically having problems with its Model 3 sales. It's cutting price for about the last month or two, twice already. Now, if the Model 3 or Tesla brand is selling really well in Asia or in China, in this particular one, why do they have to cut price? The coronavirus, yes, hitting everybody. That might be an excuse, but why do they do it twice? And that means the Chinese market is suffering just like everybody else. And for the U.S. market, suddenly, look at Tesla share price, and just like gone up the roofs, really scary. And I think this might end up in tears. I'm sorry to all those bulls for Tesla, and also sorry for the bears. I think the bears probably finally get it, but not soon enough for them. They got squeezed when the Tesla price gone up above the 1,000 mark, and now gone to as high as 1,800 in the last week or so. And it's probably will come. The bear probably have its day, but not yet at the moment. But it does smells of really enormous share price moving up, and everybody gone crazy on Tesla. And it just feels like 2000 and 2003 .com bubbles here again. And it's just basically something that I need to watch out for. And I think there's enormous opportunities for people to make money out of this. So this week basically is just that. It's just basically Go, Tesla, and the tit for tat between US and China, and basically that sort of rocked the market a bit. And that is basically my update for this week. And let's look at the some portfolio, and see what it say this week. Okay, first off the bat is Apple is continuing to buy. For this week, for short term is a buy, medium term is a buy, long term is still a buy. Amazon have recovered a bit, so short term this time is a buy of this week now, changing from last week's sell to this week buy, and medium and long term is still buy. US dollar, Australian dollar against US dollar, well, this one just continued to stay up, and it actually broke above the 70.0 mark, so that's quite good. And so short term, medium term, long term still a buy. So this is going to be the theme. So the weaker the US dollar index, the other countries for foreign currency seems to be going to get stronger. And Australia is basically picking things up, and also a reflection of the gold. The gold price has gone up this week quite well, and basically US dollar against Australian dollar against US dollar just continue to go up. Next is Brent crude. Basically, again, short term, medium term is still buy, long term is neutral. And TWI US crude oil, short term is buy, medium term, long term still neutral. So this crude oil here just continue to move up steady as you go, so to speak, since March, more or less, a couple of cents here, a little bit here, and just continue. So for the last 4 months or so, the uptrend has been there, and it's doing well, so to speak. So stay put on that one. Next is DAX from Germany, And short term, medium term, long term, all are buy at the moment. So still quite good at the moment. So still moving up, stay there. Dow Jones is still a buy at the moment. Short term, medium term is neutral, long term is a buy. For this time, though, Dow Jones, for me, just it's an indication anyway. Trend following wise, short term and long term is still up. Medium term is a bit neutral at the moment. The total system 2 system still be neutral. But if you look at the chart, it seems to come up to a little sort of a ceiling, a downward ceiling. Now, as far as I'm concerned with trend follow, I don't really care about those chart patterns and stuff, because at the end of the day, it's just there for it to be broken. But it does seems to show this case that this indication that this downward trend coming up from the top, or like about 6 months or so up ago to now, is still in the downward trend, and it's having problem. It just couldn't break above this downward trend line. So an indication is again go against it. But I think it's just like the 20-day moving average. It might be there. It would take a bit of time for it to move back up above it, but we just worthwhile to watch out for. So just watch it. Okay. Next is FTSE 100 UK. Short term is a sell. Medium term is neutral. Long term is now changed to sell as well from last week neutral. So the FTSE continue suffering. I think the spat with the China, not allowing to WC Huawei kit and those sort of stuff is not good as well. On that one, France is doing similar things as well now, following the UK basically telling Huawei, or telling its on mobile operator or telecom operator in general, they can continue to use Huawei kit, but they have to keep on having a renewal license. But whatever the license that is going to expire, they're not going to get renewed, and all equipment need to be taken out from all the France network by 2028 or some 2027. So very similar to UK. And Huawei is having a bit of downtime. But one thing for sure, though, if you got a chance to actually go into the China market, one thing that's going to be happening is China 5G is not going to stop. China's 5G is just enormous advantage and much further than other countries, and it just continues serving just itself. 1.7 billion people. Let's say 50% of it, is actually having a mobile phone. You talk about 800, 900 million subscriber, which is much, much bigger than whatever US or European combined, I think. And still going to be lots of enormous opportunity over there. So if you actually got a chance to go into the Chinese market, try it. 5G is going to be there. It's going to lead the way before European or American markets going to move up. Next is gold. Well, like I said earlier in this podcast, gold is basically a buy, broken the new high, previous high back in 2011, and it's above the last time was 1920 and 1922. This week actually broke above, I think on Friday, 1933 or something, as high as that, and it came back down again, but it's still above 1900, and that is great. So short term, medium term, long term for gold is a buy. So just continue to go there. And again, of course, the US dollar weakness is helping it. Next is Shanghai Index. Well, it's not having a good time at the moment. Short term is a sell, medium term is neutral, long term is neutral. So this spat between US and China, it is sort of hurting the Chinese share. But the other thing is there seems to be, I'm not sure if you have followed the Hang Seng Index, it's quite volatile lately. But the amount of actually money when actually gone in to the market, when the market is going up, the amount of money going into the market is quite huge. It's quite volatile, but the volume is huge as well. I think it's much further than the PVC record or something, broken all this previous record. So it's worthwhile that to see, with the spat between US and China. And they was also saying that they might be stopping Chinese to using American dollars and Hong Kong dollars pegged to US dollars and so forth. But one thing for sure, though, this is, as far as I'm concerned, is politics. Just look at the people actually doing things. It's going into China, goes for Hong Kong, and basically pack a lot or going into the market anyway, even though it's fluctuating, quite volatile. But you start to smell that the hot money is going into going to China, that kind of thing as well. Because I mean, even all things being equal, um, all the next wave, as far as I'm concerned, the move going up is is to be in Asia and most likely in China itself. Being coronavirus hitting Europe, hitting China too, and hitting America. But look at America is in a mess. Donald Trump at the way between letting the economy come open up again, or to save people, and he's very slow respond to stopping the coronavirus spreading. It's not helping the country, and now they just like between rock and hard place, and he's trying to divert the problems that he have sort of helped to create in America with the coronavirus spreads and now the enormous problem with reopening the economy, pointing the guns to China. That's why, as far as I'm concerned, that's what this week of asking the Chinese, one of the consulate in Houston, to close down, shut down, and take for that between China and U.S. on the political front is just basically is a misdirection, as far as I'm concerned. To basically to say two things, that is the mishandling of the coronavirus U.S. and also the challenge from Joe Biden for the U.S. Presidency in November. Basically just to create some news and so forth. And Pompeo going around the world and keep on saying China is bad, China is bad. The problem is there was some funny news going on. I just heard from the Asian media. Apparently, there's some U.S. News outlet. I'm not sure which one, CNN or somebody else, actually asked. Basically was digging around for Donald Trump's empires and stuff, and actually find out that Donald Trump is through his company, basically the Trump Tower and so forth, is buying $8 million of worth of US dollar of Chinese furniture from China, or furniture from China anyway. And it's quite a silly thing when this is the US president keep on telling China is bad, yet it's going to China and buying stuff and produce whatever it is. Or look at the deal between U.S. and China, forcing China to buy things. I mean, if you think this country is bad, don't deal with them then. You want to deal with them maybe in your terms or something, forcing only doing certain stuff. But then keep on saying China is bad, and then yet asking China to making China buy all this stuff from U.S. and so forth. I don't know. It's just a bit two-sided in my view. Maybe I'm biased. I'm being China. I'm being Chinese. I'm from Hong Kong. Even though I stay in UK, I'm still very much Hong Kong Chinese at heart. But as far as I'm concerned, it's a lot of misdirection going on. It's quite fun actually watching the politics that's going on between US and China. And so Hang Seng is right in the front of it, in basically Hong Kong, and he's having a bit of a problem. But I think it's best to watch the Hong Kong index, because I think the next wave of moving up is going to be in China, and it's going through via Hong Kong, and it's going to be lots of money going in. But at the moment, it's suffering from, of course, the security law and the spat between US and China on this particular subject, and we just have to wait and see. Next is Nasdaq, and short term now is a sell, long term, medium term is a buy. I think Nasdaq is the leading indicator in basically for the American market, and it is showing a bit of weakness. I think all this is because one thing and one thing only this week really is the Tesla. Tesla is driving things up. And also Tesla now is broken down a little bit this week, and it's driving Nasdaq down. So just basically watch this space and see how it goes. Next is Nikkei in Japan. Short term, medium term, long term is all buy. It's all buy, so it's very similar to DAX in Germany. Next is silver, similar to gold. Now, silver is cross the border buy, short term, medium term, no, it's a buy. So it's lacking behind the gold, and basically it's gone up again. So it's not too bad, and it's making after I say last 2 weeks or so, I say it broke $20, it's gonna shoot up and shoot up quite well actually. So it's pretty good. So it keeps staying there. But as far as I'm concerned, gold and silver this year is just a sideshow. Next year, as far as if my original thesis and research is correct, I think next year even more. So but unfortunately this year, fortunately for some as well, in a way I just didn't think it would break this 1900 on gold so quickly. We still have the $50 for silver to be broken, but I don't think it'll be touched anywhere in that size soon. Probably go to next year. Anyway, next is US dollar against the Chinese yuan. On this one is still sell across the board, sell short term, medium, and long term. Even though the US dollar is weakening, the Chinese yuan is also weakening as well. So we just have to basically wait and see. Despite between US and China is not good for both countries as far as I'm concerned. Next is US dollar against Japanese yen. Similar to US dollar index is just going down. So short term, medium term now is both changed from last week to sell this week now, and long term is a sell as well. So Japanese yen feels like getting a lot more attention. People buying into safe haven when the US market seems to be wobbling a little bit. So just wait and see. British pound against Japanese yen is next. Short term is a buy this week, so change from last week from sell to buy. Medium term and long term is still neutral. So next is British pound against US dollar buy. For long term, medium term, the short term is across the board, so buy. So for British pound seems to be some movement there, even though having issue with China, having issue with Asia, with Europe, and also the coronavirus issue on itself. But British pound seems to be moving a little bit, so just watching it. Next is Bitcoin. Short term is a sell, medium term long is neutral, long term is a buy. So Bitcoin is the one I think I said last week as well, last couple of weeks, is coiling, and it's like a little spring. It can move up or down. But as far as I'm concerned on this, it's still, I think on Friday it did stay above the 9,600 mark. So if you stay up there and above that, I think there's possibility of a buy. So, but it's still coiling as far as I'm concerned. So watch your space and watch Bitcoin. It might surprise you. I don't know. People were saying Bitcoin's supposed to similar to gold and should move up, but now gold and silver move up a lot now. Bitcoin's still in the flat line, so to speak, just sideways trade, but it might just move up. Who knows? So watch your space. But I think there will be some action there. Next is TLT, basically iShare 20. Basically on this one is buy, short term, medium term, long term is a buy. So when the market is wobbling and not doing too well, the meme market, the bond market seems to be doing well, and this TLT iShare 20 basically track the bond market, and it's a buy at the moment. Last but not least is Tesla, of course, with the wobble during the Friday. It's a sell now, short term, medium term, long term is still a buy. I mean, like I said before, the main reason I track this is because I just really don't like the shape of the Tesla share price. But I've been tracking it elsewhere on my own, and it's been buying it. It's enormously profitable for me this year, especially since March. But I think I just don't like to look at the chart. If you have a chance to look at the Tesla share price, compare that with, for example, silver. Back in 2011, when the price go like 25-ish and then go up to like 50 in short space, like 3 months or 6 months or something like that, that parabolic move is all over the place on Tesla. And last time I thought when it broke above the 1,000 US dollar mark for Tesla, I thought that was a bubble. Now it's even worse. I think with all this extra money that those people who's been furloughed, not working in America, is especially young kids, young adults, are buying into shares and trading through Robinhood. Tesla is one of them. I think is chasing, and it's definitely not doing particularly well on this one. I don't know why. It's just not good at all. I think it probably will end up in tears, but who knows at the moment. Short term wise, it's a sell. Medium and long term is still a buy. So just watch your space. But when it all turn, there will be basically time, to short this Tesla share and then make some money. So this is the end of my podcast this week. And basically, you guys need to watch the gold price, as far as I'm concerned, by looking at the U.S. dollar index, and then you can look at the Australian dollar against U.S. dollars and so forth, and it's making money. So on that side, and I hope you will continue to hold on to gold and silver. I think it will be quite good, and just wait and see what the markets tell us next. Okay, I will speak to you next week. Bye for now.